If you just joined us, this is The Press. We're reaching you live from KAFTAN's television studio here in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we'll go straight to our headline for analyzing the stories that we read out to you earlier. And my guest on the show today is Richard Oriri, who is a politician. Great to have you on the show this morning.
It's my pleasure. Good morning.
You're looking like the Igbo man, typical Igbo man today.
I have to represent my wife's color today.
Okay. Welcome again.
Thank you.
All right, so viewers, our phone lines are now open. You can call in to make your contributions or ask your questions. Now, quite a number of stories to talk about, but we have politics, you have economy. In fact, I'm just thinking of where to start from. But let me start with the dramas. In fact, so much dramas happened yesterday, especially in Abuja. On the flip one side, you have from Nigerian Tribune, it says after hours of drama over arrest bid, EFCC says Yahaya Bello will be arraigned today. EFCC floating court order coming from Bello as it cites subsisting court order restraining agency from arresting, detaining and prosecuting him. But then Falana says Supreme Court has said no court can gag EFCC and others. But then if you look at all of this, you have that you still have that issue of conflicting court order. One court says that he should be arrested, the other court gives EFCC the opportunity or the ex-parte order to go search and even arrest, but another one is saying that he should not or be touched and all of that. So what are your thoughts in this regard? And then even in that same story, we saw how there were gunshots flying around in the residence, and then you have the current governor Usman Ododo, who was there's a particular headline that I read, and it says that he smuggled Yahaya Bello out in his governorship convoy. What are your thoughts in all of that?
Thank you, Annabel. Good morning, Nigerians. The whole drama, there's nothing different than just to conclude that it was a clear indication of acceptance of guilt from the ex-governor. And I felt so sad. When I read on the pages of newspapers and watch on national televisions how he was trying to stop EFCC from investigating him and all of that. And he just finished his 8 years term as a governor of Kogi State, and he has presided over the executive arm of a state as the chief implementer of public policies. As the chief executive officer of a state, he was actually in charge of constitutional provision that gives him the right to execute government policies and programs. And EFCC, they are just carrying out their constitutional duties. And if they are carrying out their constitutional duties as a true citizen, if he discovered that he is not guilty of the allegation, the best thing to do was to just present itself before the law. You cannot turn a fugitive in a country that is guided by a constitution. And again, you are one of those people that have led a state, not local government, not political words, a state that have presided over public issues. Why running away from the law? In the state where he presided over, they have the legislative arm, where he sent bills, executive bills for laws to be made for the state. And if these laws are made, who are the ones to obey the laws? The same citizens like himself. And coming to Nigeria in general, we have the same law that is after him now. If he was prepared for governance and he knew that he did very well for the people, why running away from the law? So, using the judiciary, another arm of government, to preventing the EFCC from arresting and prosecuting him, I don't think that is the best. It's a clear indication of abuse of public office.
Who's abusing whose office?
He abuses public office because he has accepted by running away, turning himself a fugitive. If you see that you did not commit crime, why running from the law? Why trying to dodge from defending yourself? So the best thing to do is to allow himself to be prosecuted if possible, because it's an allegation. They have not proven him wrong or right. You should allow EFCC to carry out their investigation over the alleged corruption that went on during his administration. He should just go and for me, I don't know why. I can't even see any reason why an ex-governor of a country like Nigeria should be running away from EFCC.
All right. So now, there's, like you talked about, there's an allegation there, and then there's always that word of you're still it's just an allegation until it's proven.
Yes.
All right. So now you have the allegation of that 80 billion naira during the time when he was a governor. But then let me ask you personally, if he was, let me use the word from those other newspaper like First News says, shootout as Kogi governor smuggles Yahaya Bello out of Abuja residence. So if it was someone else that won the election, not Usman Ododo, who was actually Yahaya Bello's anointed one. If it was someone else, say for instance, Dino Milai, who also contested in that election via the PDP, or if it was the white elephant who contested under SDP, if it was any of those people that won the election and is the present governor of the state, would he have been able to evade or be smuggled out from the hands of the EFCC? Do you see that happening? Or maybe it was well thought out before he became the governor?
No, even the same Ododo and Yahaya Bello, they will still have problem. They will still have problem. There is nothing in that line that I will accept, even if it were the PDP candidate. That's what's the name? Dino Melaye that won the election. No matter what Ododo is doing, trying to protect his principal's image, or they are just buying time, because Yahaya Bello is within the country. He has not been able to flee out of the, even if he should go out of the country, he will be tracked back. So they are just buying time. I was somewhere, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, I was somewhere where the person was trying to make call to a close associate of Yahaya Bello. They have been trying to use government machinery to see how they will suppress EFCC, not to arrest him. Where was the person put a call to that he was telling the person that called him that he actually called one of the House Committee chairman on financial crime to talk to EFCC chairman and all of that. And so my brother, my sister, the drama going on in this country is something that our leaders, especially the current leaders, have to sit up and give true governance to the people. Because if you deliver according to the constitution, if you deliver based on your political or your campaign manifestos, there is no how anybody will come after you. They won't come after you. It's when you go into government and you turn the whole exercise into personal business. You turn the whole exercise into family business. Instead of public interest, you now channel the whole interest to personal, to clan, and to family. It will continue in this way, except our current leaders change their way of thinking. And El-Rufai is in the news now. Tomorrow it might be another governor. But they have to sit up and look inward that I have been given this opportunity to serve the people. And if you are serving the people, you are serving God that is not here with you. Let's
quickly take this call. Good morning.
Yeah, beautiful morning to you, Annabel. Good morning, Mr. Richard.
Good morning.
SMD from Lagos. Great to hear from you this morning.
Yeah. I heard Mr. Richard was telling you he's representing his wife. That is a good one. And I believe your wife will be happy to hear that. Thank you very much for doing that. Let me quickly respond to the issue they were governors, they have what they call immunity, which prevents the law at least to take action on them. Now that they were not on seats, why all this issue? What is the problem? When are we going to begin to respect our institutions? So does that mean that we don't even value the political parties that will become something under their platform? Now look at the Kano saga. They were disowned. The APC headquarters disowned the people who wrote a letter to them. And now, who are you to believe? Who are you going to believe? That's the question. Who are you going to believe? So I think we should learn how to respect our institutions. When we begin to respect our institutions, that is where we're going to get things right. Otherwise, things will keep on going in this present predicament, which we don't pray for. Remember in the 8th Assembly what happened? Somebody entered the National Assembly and get away with the mess. And so many things are happening in the politics. Why are we like this? Are we for real? I mean, look at this. 64 years of independence, 24 years of interrupted democracy, and we are still into this mess, and you are expecting the international community to recognize you when you don't even recognize the law that you sit down by yourself and let the law. Don't respect the law, and you expect the international community to respect you. You expect the common man to respect you. No. Please, I urge our leaders to do the needful for the betterment of this country. Otherwise, we keep on going on this present predicament, which we don't pray for. Thank you very much. I remain SMD from Lagos.
SMD from Lagos, always a pleasure hearing from you. Thank you so much. Because you talked about the APC saga, let's stay on politics and move straight to APC. On one side, two questions, and I'd like you to take them together. If you go from one side with regards to political parties, you go to APC. There you have, I'll take it from the First News. Says, my seat remains unshakable, Ganduje tells Kano government. As APC chairman, his wife, son, others are remanded for corruption trial. And then he was stalled. But then on the flip side, I actually saw another, that's on Daily Independent, says Ganduje, we won't obey court order obtained by fraud, coming from APC. And then on another side again, I saw him say that all of this is just all of this thing they're doing is actually against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and not a shot fired directly at him. And another headline again says that, where he made it mention, and then I will quote him, he says, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is solidly behind me. And I'm wondering, solidly behind you in what regard? That's on one side. We'd like to get your thoughts in that regard. And then you move straight to the other side. On the flip side, in PDP, yesterday they had their caucus meeting. Today we'll be having the NWC meeting that actually held on from last night up until early hours of this morning. And then you have Wike, you have the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar also in attendance, and then some other governors. And I've seen so many comments, people saying, okay, so now that you have Wike, he's now looking like a mole in there and all of that. Let's get your thoughts in with regards to these political parties, the two main political parties.
Annabel, in reaction to your question, I want to sincerely say that I am so disappointed with our leaders in this country. So disappointed in the sense that when other nations of the world, they are struggling, putting up strategies on how to make life better for their citizens across the globe, Nigerian leaders, we are here busy struggling for who become what in 2027.
Even in 2024.
Even when we are still in 2024, that they their focus should be on governance. It's a pity. And going to Kano scenario, the national chairman of the party, one, is not above the law. The same constitution made the national chairman. The same constitution made the governor of the state for 8 good years. And if an injunction is given by a court, a competent court, that he wants presided over, the best thing for him to do is to possibly file and file a stay of execution, instead of boldly coming on air to tell the world that I am protected by the president, who is also president of the country
and not above the law.
And not above the law, who is also president of the country by taking the oath of office with the same constitution. And I will look at what is happening in Kano from the perspective of a contagious effect. It has happened here, nothing happened. It has happened here, nothing happened, and it went successfully. Using the machinery of World ESCO now to sack national chairmen of political parties has become a strong tool in the hands of weak, I can call them weak political elites who don't have much to give. It has happened to Secondus. Adan Soshomole. It happened. And they have seen that in these two scenarios, it went successfully, and the two national chairmen left their office as a result of the award ESCO suspending them. Now, the political calculation in Kano was to see how Ganduje will lose this seat as national chairman. And what would they do? Is to go through the World ESCO executive. So, I think going forward, this will now give political elites in this country to take their word ESCO very seriously. And you see, going forward, in the next, like PDP now preparing for conventions, no serious political minded elite will allow anybody that is not his blood or her blood to become his or her ward ESCO party chairman. That is what will happen now. And that will be that, that is going to be that even from within the party circle, the gladiators will put the party in their pocket right from the word, then deciding who take the party's ticket going forward. At the end, we will keep having nonchalant, this kind of attitude that cannot give Nigeria good name before the international community. One of my lecturers, one man is a journalist representing the UAE. He came to Nigeria, and one of our lecturers invited him to come and give us lecture about the Middle East, what is happening within the Middle East. He just left Nigeria about 2 days ago. Yesterday, the lecturer was telling us in the class that his friend that came, he said when he was coming, he was requested to give something at the airport by immigration officers in Nigeria.
Interesting.
He was requested
and that's his first entry, that's his first experience.
His first experience in this country. He's an Indian man. Coming to Nigeria, immigration requested for something, chop from him. And going out again, he called him, he said, going out again.
Anything for
the
us.
same thing. He said, why is corruption so pronounced in the country? Even the chop, even if it is $10,000 that he gives to the person who requested for it, what will that have to do to his life compared to the national interest of the country? So, we are being faced with too many issues that is not doing us any good.
But then, Richard, would you actually say that these people who should know better, knowing that the airport is the first entrance or the first impression that any investor or visitor meets, and then you are working in the airport and you're asking for kickbacks, so it means that whatever you do there is what lingers in that visitor's mind almost forever?
That is the image of the country that they are giving the picture out to the person coming into the country. Even if as an investor, if I'm coming to Nigeria and my first contact with any of the citizens within the airport, the first contact shows corruption, the best thing I will do is to retreat. Because somebody posted you to that place. And when the lecturer was telling us yesterday, I told him that it's a very serious issue. We need serious orientation in this country. And this is a very big task for the current Minister of Interior to sanitize the immigration system in this country, because most of these immigration officers at the airport and most of these lucrative, they call them lucrative zones within their system, they paid heavily to be posted to those areas, because they know that once you go there, you make money out of corruption. So they should sanitize it. There shouldn't be any preferential posting to some of these areas. They are denting the image of this country. And going to PDP issue, Nigeria, as I said earlier, the whole calculation is about 2027. I read on the page of newspaper that the governors, PDP governors, they are saying that there is not going to be any change in leadership, meaning the current national chairman will retain his position. They're not going to change him. He will retain his position. Why some other persons loyal to Wike, they say the man should go because he's Wike's puppet. That's what they are saying, that they have to change him. Some other people loyal to Atiku said there should be change in government. Those loyal to Wike said there should not be change in government, so that this man will continue.
So it's not looking like a clash of the titans.
Yes, and that's why. See, there's so much to be done from the party angle and from leadership, governance in general in this country. Look at China. When in the early late 70s to 80s, when Henry Kissinger was the leader of China, what did he do? He was picturing future of India, of China. He was picturing future of China. What did he do? He came up with a diaspora policy, foreign policy, where all the Indians who are outside India, making it heavily, business people in other countries of the world, he went harnessing them, bringing them back to India to come and invest in India. Why are our leaders not thinking towards that direction?
All right.
He gave directive to most leaders of the different zones in China that they should investment competition in development regions. Like if governors in Nigeria should think towards that direction, going outside, bringing investors. There is no state in this country that have not serious business people outside the country that are making it heavily across the world.
All right.
You go and bring them home. PDP, APC, Labour Party, and what they are after is 2027. They should think about the country first. If the country is not safe, even 2027
will not happen.
There will be nothing like 2027.
All right, Richard, let's our time is fast spent. Just help us if you can in next 2 minutes, because you talked about development, you talked about businesses, you talked about investment and all, and the economy. Let's go to Business Day, where it says 7 of 10 businesses risk closure over electricity tariff hike, and that same story, but in a different perspective. If you take it from I can't find where it gets that the particular headline again, but it's still talking about the electricity tariff hike and how it will affect small businesses. And we already know that small businesses, SMEs or MSMEs, they are the life wire of every economy. So if coming from the organized private sector saying this electricity hike will affect manufacturers, it will affect industries, how then will the consumers deal if we are complaining that things are really expensive and then 7 out of 10 businesses shut down? What do you think will be the ripple effect of all of this?
Well, I have nothing different to say like from what I have said earlier. Our government, they are not thinking towards the development of this country. You made mention of small businesses. In China, they have succeeded because they look towards the direction of peasantry. The local business owners, farmers, local farmers. Most of these business, that will make Nigerians, citizens, to be out of this serious economic inequality is when you channel this idea of development towards the local communities. We don't have good roads within our local areas. We don't have majority, 70 to 80% of Nigerian rural communities have no electricity. And the bulk of our population resides in these rural areas. Like in the city in Abuja here. If they are complaining about electricity in this town today, I can say civil servants and private residents, majorly, where are the industries? Where are the industries? That they are talking about industries. Where are the industries even within Abuja here? Where are the industries? It's only residential areas.
But if they are even complaining of electricity, how do you want them to manage?
70% of Abuja land is occupied by residential areas.
But then, I'm asking, if they are complaining of electricity, how do you want them to even manage? If they cannot even get electricity, they have to provide their own electricity.
Nigeria is because of the failure of government. The government is failing and they keep failing and they are not thinking towards that direction. I got a hint that very soon, maybe the president of this country, who is thinking towards the development of Nigeria, will reshuffle the cabinet and possibly sack some ministers. And if it's to sack ministers, I think 60% of the ministers have to go. They are not doing anything. Nothing. They are all silent. And from the very moment he said, no traveling abroad again, serious trap.
It looks like shop don't close. Interesting.
They don't have anything to give to us. They have nothing.
Richard, did you realize that you are actually saying that the ministers, 80% of the ministers
are not doing nothing? Go to the fields and ask, as a journalist, go and carry out your investigation. Ask Nigerians, what is the Minister for Agriculture doing? Ask Nigerians, they will tell you. What is the Minister for Power that you are talking about now? What is the Minister for Power is doing? There's no much rain now. We don't talk about water resources. Irrigation farming.
Irrigation farming.
You understand?
Say that.
So,
right.
A lot is going wrong in this country. Is it transportation? A lot. Everywhere is silent. And Nigerians are suffering. The suffering keep increasing on daily basis. Going to education. Zero.
Richard,
and we are not seeing anything new coming out from these ministers. No policy. They have not rolled out anything to us. This is our direction. Nigerians have not seen. Where are we going?
All right, it's really that's a question, and I'm sure that if they are not listening because they're in the office doing busy, their aides or someone close to them is listening. Nigerians are asking 80% of our ministers, what exactly have you done or are you even doing? Thank you so much, Richard Oriri. That's where we'll leave this conversation for today. Thank you for coming.
It's my pleasure.
All right, we'll move straight to our social media corner and then we'll take some stories. And I told you I was going to bring you the story of the PDP caucus meeting where Atiku and Wike attended the meeting. Says the president or the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, I beg your pardon, PDP in 2023 general elections, Atiku Abubakar, and the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, attended the PDP's national caucus meeting in Abuja yesterday, April 17th. The meeting comes ahead of the party's National Executive Committee meeting scheduled to take place on Thursday, that's today. This is the first time that the former Rivers State governor will be attending a meeting of the PDP after the presidential election last year. Wike has been at loggerhead with the PDP leadership and did not support the party's candidate Atiku in 2023 election. Apart from this, or his opposition to Atiku's campaign in 2023 election, Wike's decision to serve in the APC government had worsened the rift between him and key stakeholders in the party. Now leave that and take some comments from some Nigerians on social media where I am Brett says, is that why they didn't give the honorable minister any Fanta or water? Really very funny. And then the next person, Jesse K, says Wike will finish hearing everything they say there, then go and sell them out to APC. Riders 2010 says PDP is finished. It means that Wike is bigger than the whole party called PDP. Shame on Atiku due to desperation. Okay, that's his own comment. While Sarah Mora says they love themselves than all of us. All of them, they are the same. At the APCO, at the PDP, at the Labour Party, all of them in one love. Another person here says Wike is a spy. He shouldn't be let in the meeting. Adum 14 says General Wike never left PDP. Wike alone was PDP when they all left and returned. Assuming the present government offered any of his PDP members a chance to work with them, they will go and work with PM Wike, and that's what he's doing, which is a normal thing. All right, the last person I'll take is from OJ Vig's Biz that says the day Wike go to media chat, he will talk everything they said in the caucus meeting. You Sabio, that's not from me. All right, to take our next video very quickly, it's 12 arrested for sleeping under Ikate Eleguchi Bridge in Lagos, and really most of those people are those constituting nuisance, especially when you drive at night. They're the people constituting nuisance. Let's see that video and come to end the program.
That's all. Where you hide out?
They're being arrested and prosecuted, a lot of them, because yes, I understand the fact that some people don't have a place to stay, so they stay under the bridge, but some other persons are the ones that are constituting nuisance. They rob people even in broad daylight. It's really a sad situation. We'll leave it there for today. I'll see you again next time. Keep watching KAFTAN Television. From all of us here at KAFTAN Television in Abuja, we say have yourselves a very lovely morning and, of course, a very wonderful Thursday. My name is Annabel Orji. Good morning.